Greetings to everybody and to those who accidentally stumbled in here by mistake. Welcome to another video from Power Director Made Simple. In my last video, I showed the techniques to introduce speed ramping into your videos, either speeding them up or slowing them down. If you noticed, I only briefly touched on the topic of what happens to the audio in those segments in which speed ramping has been applied. Today's video will show you exactly what happens. So yes, the audio channel can possibly become collateral damage when you apply speed ramping. Just how much the audio might change depends upon only one thing: how much of a time shift you introduce into the segment. For example, if you have a very long segment of the video that you want to get through very quickly, you might introduce a speed multiplier of 5x or even greater. But if the segment is much shorter, then perhaps something like 2x would suffice. But now think about it. What happens to the sound of a voice if it is sped up 5 times compared to only 2 times? Well, let's play around with some examples. On my timeline are 2 video clips, each taken from a recent college commencement ceremony. And as you know, those ceremonies always come with long, boring speeches. Let's take a look at the first one. It is a speech that is about 27 minutes long. So what would happen if we were to speed it all up except for the first minute or two in the very ending? I'll first select the clip, click on Edit, and then Video Speed. I'll then click on the Selected Range tab. On the timeline at the bottom, I'll click on the icon to show the entire video instead of zooming in on certain sections. I'll then move either playhead to about the 2-minute mark and click on Create Time Shift. I'll grab the right side of the yellow time shift box and I'll drag it to the right to somewhere at the 25-minute mark, leaving only 2 minutes of the original video left. In the duration box in the upper left, it shows that I have selected about 23 minutes of video. Now the big question, just how much do I want to speed this up? I really want to get through this boring speech in a hurry, so I'll enter a multiplier of 10.0. That changes my selected duration down to about 2 minutes. I'll also check the ease in and ease out buttons. And I'll first set the sound settings to not include the audio pitch. I'll click on Apply. To test out what this new audio will sound like, I'll drag the playhead just to the left of the yellow time shift box and then hit play.
About 40 years ago,
Well, as you can hear, none of that speech is really intelligible, assuming that it really was to begin with. You just cannot take 20 minutes of audio and squeeze it down to 2 minutes and still expect it to sound like human speech. So what is the solution to speeding up this long, boring speech? Well, the best answer is something very unique. It's called video editing. And simply cutting out many sections of the speech can reduce it down to just a few important parts. Yes, it is the brute force method, but at least the resultant video and audio are fully intact at regular speed. So speed ramping is not the answer in this case of a large segment of human speech. I'll click Cancel and then No to return to the main window. I'll next enable the second video and audio tracks, which are taken from the same commencement ceremony, but this speech is just about 2 minutes long. Still somewhat boring, but much shorter. I can use speed ramping to get through this one in a much faster time. I'll select the clip, I'll click on Edit, and then Video Speed. Once again, I'll click on the Selected Range tab, and I'll move the playhead to an arbitrary position of about 15 seconds. and then I'll click on the Create Time Shift. I'll then drag the right side of the time shift box out to about the 45-second mark. My duration of what I have now selected is about 30 seconds. If I change the speed multiplier to 2.0, the duration drops to about 15 seconds. I'll click on the ease in and ease out and then move the playhead back to the left of the time shift box. I'll also click on the settings icon and not make any changes to the audio yet. I'll keep the audio without keeping the pitch. The result should give me the chipmunk sound to begin with. I'll hit play, and let's see and hear what this sounds like. Well, there was your chipmunk sound. Let's go back to the settings and add a check mark to keep the audio pitch. I'll hit apply and move the playhead back to the left. Now let's see what a difference this will make.
And most important, your dedication to our
As you
students.
can see,
To be a
keeping the
faculty member
pitch
at
on
Quincy
small
College-
segments in which the speed is increased by only 2 or maybe 3 times the regular speed, it will result in a fast speech that can still be mostly understood. So there is what happens to audio during speed ramping. The best way to clean up a long, boring video is to cut out sections that are not really necessary. And as you can see, if you speed up any segment and keep the speech without any alterations, the result is a chipmunk sound. You might be willing to accept the speech by keeping the original pitch, but probably not more than 2 or 3 times the original speed. If you have a larger segment that you'd like to speed up any more, consider extensive editing cuts to the video instead. I hope you liked this video and found it informative. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll keep me on my goal of achieving the 4 million mark by the end of the year. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And one other important thing, don't forget to go back on any of my previous videos and scroll through the questions and comments there. You don't have to watch the video all over again, just read the comments. You'll find some of them very informative. I hope to see all of you back again, and once again, thanks for watching.